What's wrong with my channel?
It smells of butter. It smells of butter toast.
I turned my shirt inside out.
Why?
Because the front of it was green.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
We are green. That means it's good.
That's true. Alright, let me see. Let's see. Oh, it's right there, dude. It's right there. Okay, alright, let's do that. And then do it like the pros do it. And do that. And do that. And I don't know if anyone's gonna show up. Let's see. Oh, it's right there. Oh, it's right there. Okay, alright, not too bad. Alright, let me go make sure. Let me go make sure that that's all good out there. So I'm like 99% sure there's people in there.
Hello. What are we all doing out there today?
So why are people asking what the channel is?
Say hello.
Are people on there?
I got two. It says two are watching, but one of them's us. Little Chris. Hello. How you doing, little Chris? Welcome, Sin.
So those dudes figured it out. Okay.
Okay.
They go. So my stream. Okay, so check this out. Look at this. Just so you can understand why I'm over here LOLing. So check this out. So this is what I have open on my screen. Okay. Ready? This is what my stream is. And they say, what's the channel?
Yo, guys.
Okay, do you understand why I'm like LOLing?
Hey, Michael.
I'm literally LOLing out loud. No, this is not a gaming channel. This is like our little like vaping kind of channel, dealio. Yeah, no, I'm laughing. I'm like, dude, I'm like, guys, come on. Like, y'all can do better than that. Y'all are better than that. But no, so this is like our little like side project kind of dealio. Kind of just like bullshitting about vape and stoof. I don't know how many of you guys in here actually vape or have interest in vaping. But if you guys got friends that do, just shoot them a quick link to the stream and just, you know, just gonna bullshit tonight about vaping and the pros and cons of buying shitty ass box mods and then being stressed out about why said box mod doesn't quite work properly and stuff.
Why we're streaming so late.
Yeah, that was another little hiccup. I'm gonna shut this door. Kitty cat, hey, kitty. Meow meow. Meow meow.
Oh, you do to her?
Meow meow. What?
He says I freaking hardcore vape.
Cat.
Oh, no one's ever picked him up before.
Really?
I guess Ashley has, but I haven't. So what do you got, Tour?
Okay, how about get it. See, we're cool. We cool. All right, dude. I'm exhausted. Whew. Oh. My uncle smokes cigs. I'm trying to get him to try vaping. You should just give him something. Give him some money. Be like, here's $50. Go buy a
vape.
A vape mod. Or something.
Or have him watch us. Have him watch our videos. Have him watch some vape videos himself.
I don't think Tor vapes. I think he's joshing.
Oh.
I think he's joking around. I don't think he frickin' hardcore vapes.
Well, I freaking hardcore vape. Because it's cool. It's not cool.
Pee in your pants is cool.
I forget we have to, like, blow. Provari? Didn't Provari close down? I thought they did recently, like this year. Pretty sure Provari closed down.
Well, then he's got like an older device, and that's okay.
Provari was good shit. That's what I heard, at least.
I'd never heard of that brand in my life, so you'd be able to carry on this conversation better than I could. I'm falling with the big guns.
So over the week, we've gotten him a very, very nice setup. It's the Mason 40 on top of the cheese grater, also known as the Cooper.
The Cooper.
The Cooper.
It looks so ridiculous, and it is. It's completely, absolutely ridiculous. Completely over the top, unnecessary. The only thing more ridiculous would be like a quad 26650 or like quad 2700 like mech, which would be dope. Like that would be sick. But as far as, you know, what it is, it's still completely over the top and ridiculous. Completely unnecessary.
What's up, Arcader?
That's our boy. That's our boy, our Arcader right there. Yeah, completely over the top. It's nice though, dude. Like, I'm digging it. I hate this battery door though.
That's loud.
It's unfortunate. It's mega unfortunate. Well, thank you, Arcader. All you guys should be subscribing. Even if you don't watch us, guys, just help us out. Throw us a sub. It'll get our names out there. Oh, tugboats are sweet.
Nice.
Those are cool. I'm actually thinking about getting a noisy cricket. That'd be too.
They're cheap too.
Yeah, like $50, and you can run series or parallel.
That is a good option.
Which is nice. I just don't.
Where did you look that up at? Recently?
The dude I was talking to. He was like, you should get a noisy cricket. And I was like, I've seen those. But they've got that weird, like, the button is over here, right? It's on the top, like, you press, like, you're...
I think the V2 is on the side.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Okay, because I know the first one's had that black cap that you pressed. So you had to kind of do one of these, because that's what completed your circuit.
Yeah.
So
no, I think it's on the side now.
Because that's pretty dope if it is.
Pretty sure. They're hard as shit to find, though.
What, V2s?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Vapor DNA don't have them. Element Vape don't have them. So, and I also acquired a very nice single tube mech. The Consor. It's about scoundrels.
Oh boy.
And this guy over here bought it for me as a very nice gesture gift.
And then he deleted everything on OBS in return.
I did. I messed up OBS.
Hours.
I really messed up OBS.
Hours of effort across like 3 nights.
It was
he
2
just,
nights.
Like, delete.
2 hours.
No.
2 hours one night, 1 hour the next night.
No, we were up until like 1 a.m. Like, both nights. It was like 5 or 6 hours. Because remember that first night? We were doing it for like 3 hours, and then the night after that, we did it for like an hour, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm remote connecting.
Yep. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, Arcader, this is going to be a very chillax review channel. We're going to kind of talk about what we're vaping on, and a particular RDA or box mod or batteries or coils or juice, whatever we feel like we need to review. This particular first video is on the version 1.5 of the new Goon that's out. There's not a whole lot of reviews out there yet, so we're very happy to do this.
I gotta get mine all set up. I came unprepared, dude.
Came unprepared.
Yeah.
Unprepared is our name.
Yeah, that should be it. Unprepared Vapes.
Can my boy Deadhead do a hair reveal and possibly get a haircut?
Definitely getting a haircut as soon as I get back, and I'll do a hair reveal in about 30 seconds. Let me just make sure. I think I'm gonna go with the Lucky Bird on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the
Lucky Bird.
Like, wait a minute. Why do we have? Is this?
What? Let me see.
Wait, why do we have like 2 full bottles of Honey Mellow? No, we don't. This one's not like full. Oh,
the one on that side should be the one you lent me.
Okay, all right. No, that's one you're keeping. Okay. Oh, that's solely cannoli down there. That's why I'm confused. Okay.
No, we're not reviewing games on this channel. This is for a little side project that Dead and I have been working on for a little bit.
Okay.
And right. No, this is not a green screen. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, we painted the wall.
Painted the wall black, and my beard has a natural green tint to the outside of it. So,
oh, are you talking about the Cheerios by the Milkman? Because I can review that for you right now if you want. I actually have a bottle of it, not here, but at home.
And there's the hair. I am not doing that. Wow, you look very 1990.
Like a fucking emo kid? Nah, I'm getting a haircut as soon as I get back to Connecticut on Sunday. I'm going to get a haircut. That's what you're used to, is the hat. I've been wearing a hat since the day I was born. You hear the wheezing, dude? But so, Tor, are you talking about Cheerios? I'm assuming you are, because that's like the only churro flavor I can think of. And it's good, but if you've had the Milkman, think of the Milkman, but with like a sort of a sugary cinnamon kind of flavor. And that's all it is. It's good. Like, it's not bad. It's a good 80-20. It's definitely like a legitimate 80-20. It's not a falsely advertised 80-20. The flavor is not really 100% there, though, because it's a true 80-20. It's got flavor, but it's not like an overwhelming flavor. So if you're trying to get like a super, super crazy intense churro flavor or churros flavor, that's not it. But it is good juice. It's relatively inexpensive.
I have not had the juice, so I cannot comment.
But it's pretty good stuff. I like the Milkman. Their original, just the standard, the Milkman is like one of my favorites. It's awesome stuff. Rhubarb flavor.
They have rhubarb flavor. Have you ever eaten rhubarb?
Yeah, I like rhubarb pie, but that seems like a so what we're gonna do, Chris, is we're gonna do like a. Have you ever seen the True Vapors show on YouTube? We're gonna do kind of like that, where we'll just be on Skype, kind of doing our thing. This is just like a kind of just opening up the channel while I'm here, kind of thing. Is it? Studies right now, are saying no. They've been testing it pretty much. I mean, it's hard to say yes or no verified. Like, neither of us are scientists. One study is biased in one direction, another study is biased in the other direction. But the hard facts of, you can take an X-ray of somebody who smoked for 20 years, and then X-ray them after they vaped for a year, and their lungs are in much better shape. All of your levels, yes, as far as like, I don't know, I don't want to say cholesterol and stuff. I mean, I guess that is affected, but your overall just, different like vitamin and mineral levels fluctuate back to where they're supposed to be.
I know when I quit smoking and I started vaping, I could breathe better. I could do things longer, like steps, walking in general. Waking up, I didn't feel like shit in the mornings. I fell asleep easier at night. Those are all just like the natural side effects of quitting smoking, but vaping doesn't necessarily make you sleep better. It's just that you've quit smoking and it does that for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I mean, it's not 100% safer. I mean, if you're, no matter how you look at it, you're still putting something into your lungs. You're still breathing in.
You still got nicotine, and
I mean, nicotine is about as harmful as caffeine is. And they're both not great. Like, they're not, there's far worse things in the world for you than nicotine or caffeine, by all means. But you're still breathing something into your lungs other than oxygen. I mean, You know, these days with pollution and crap, breathing oxygen is pretty much horrible for you anyway, but it's definitely a minimum of 95% less harmful than cigarettes. You're at least, you know, you're taking in propylene glycol, you're taking in vegetable glycerin, natural and artificial flavors. That's it. As long as you're buying decent juice. You know, with a cigarette, you're breathing in literally thousands of chemicals, and then when they combust, they multiply into thousands upon thousands of more chemicals. And it's all shit that's just added in there to keep you addicted and to keep them burning correct and whatever. There's formaldehyde, there's all sorts of stuff. Now, there's studies out there. Now keep in mind, I saw this article a few months back. There was an article that was titled, "Vaping is 10 times more cancerous than cigarettes." And these people found a study from some lab or some research group out in the UK. And they took what these people found and they completely twisted their words. So now people are passing this article along, and it's basically bullshit.
Complete
and
bullshit.
What had happened was this research group had found that if you vape at an extremely, extremely high temperature, and I mean we're talking temperatures that basically no mod in the world will ever reach. If you run your wire too hot, you can get close to melting your wire. I mean, you can melt like a really thin gauge if you're, running a really thin wire, really high wattage, and that's when it gets dangerous. It's all about knowing what you're doing. You're melting wire, you breathe in, and that's definitely not good for you. But safe vaping with using your brain and not being dumb, knowing what you're doing, researching before you do stuff, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. But when you do something stupid and you grab a super tiny monster baby coil and run it at 500 watts, and it pops and you breathe it in, that's when it's bad for you.
Yeah, now you're getting into some big problems.
And there's no one to blame but yourself for that kind of stuff. Like, that's completely your fault. After vaping after a while, you will stop altogether as in smoking. Didn't studies even show that after vaping after a while, you will stop altogether? I'm not too sure I understand the question. I know some people, they'll vape to quit smoking and then they stop altogether, and that's definitely the way to go. If you're looking at vaping strictly just to get you off cigarettes, it's definitely the easiest way to do it.
You quit after 2 days, maybe max.
Yeah, it was like 32 hours.
Not a whole lot of time. So much easier than any other method out there.
Like by far, and it's awesome. What up the Zermbie army? It's definitely a lot easier, and if you quit vaping after a few months, dude, you're on even better track. But some of us, we happen to get pretty deep into it, and we end up buying all sorts of stuff that costs money that we don't really need to buy, and then you end up with like all sorts of money's worth of stuff, and it's not good. It becomes
an expensive hobby. It can be cheaper than smoking cigarettes, which is another perk. But if you get really into it, it's a hobby that costs.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's a blast though. Like there's so much fun to be had. There's a lot of stress to be had as well. But I mean, if you get into it and you're smart and you're safe, don't be dumb. It is a very fun hobby to have. 100%.
Yes, you can actually quit vaping after a while. I know. I got a friend down where I'm from. She quit smoking after 12 years. She did it in under a week, and she vaped for about 2 or 3 years, and she weaned herself off of the nicotine, was just doing straight juice without nicotine in it, and she weaned herself off of that. So she's actually been completely free of inhaling anything now for about a month. So yes, it is very, very possible to wean yourself off of vaping as well, which is going to save you money. It's going to make you even healthier as well.
I mean, even if you don't quit the vaping and you don't get into like the hardcore side of it, like if you go into a vape shop and you buy, and I know I always say this, but I will always defend this mod and I don't care what anybody says. If you walk into a shop and you buy like a V8 stick or something, and that's all you have is that stick, and you buy you buy coils once in a while, it's gonna save you a boatload of money. You're going to spend what?
Welcome hands.
$25 a week as opposed to over 100.
And that mod could last you a whole year to 2 years if you take care of your shit properly. And if not, upgrading it is another $50. Not a big deal. And it works fantastic. There's also lots of other reliable starter kits out there. Just do your research. There's plenty of information out there. I'm putting out information. He's preaching about the V8 every single time someone asks about it.
I love that thing, dude.
It's
so dope. It's like a.
I've owned a V8 stick. I got my brother started on the Vape Pen 22 by Smoke. It's not the V8 stick, but
they're similar though.
They're very similar. The coils just aren't ginormous.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I love those little M2s, dude. Those little 0.2 ohm coils. Those things are so nice.
And they put out a real solid vape for such a small device. It's just as small as this right here.
It's a little bit smaller.
Is it smaller?
Yeah, because you don't have that little hybrid deck up there.
Okay.
It's literally like your battery is like right here. Like the battery touches the bottom. Battery stops here. Tank stops here.
Yeah.
It's like 3/4 of an inch shorter.
It's very, very compact.
They're dope. They're so nice. And I mean, they're cheap, dude. You walk into a vape shop and you spend $100 and you walk out. Like, you get your mod, you get some coils, you get a bottle or two of juice, and you're good for a few weeks.
Easily a few weeks.
And then, I literally, man, a lot of you guys know this already, but those that don't, I smoked for like 13 years. Started when I was like 12 or 13. Smoked all day, every day for 13 years. And the last like 5 years of that, I tried quitting. I tried like every brand of gum, every flavor, every nick level I tried. The patches, every single nick level, every brand. I tried the lozenges, I tried hypnotherapy, everything. And I nothing caught. Like, I think the gum was the closest. And I think I'd make it like borderline 24 hours before I was like chain smoking for a few hours. And with the vaping, dude, it was like literally I bought the thing at noon on a Friday. And then I used it all day Friday. And then I woke up Saturday morning, had a cigarette, and then tried smoking one a little bit later on in the day, and it tasted like absolute shit. I put it out, and that was it. I was done. Like, that banana bread flavor, going back to cigarettes after vaping that banana bread all day was like a completely different. I was like, dude, these cigarettes taste like balls. And now I throw up. Whenever I smell cigarettes, I want to puke.
And it's also a good alternative for anybody that that chews tobacco as well. My brother chewed tobacco for at least 15 years, possibly 16 years, and he quit within a week. It's a little bit tougher because it's a different intake versus a dip in your lip and smoking a cigarette. But he was able to quit within a week, and he's been smoke-free now for over 6 months. So, and in about 11 minutes, Dom here will be smoke-free in about 11 minutes. Cigarette-free.
That's
in about 11 minutes.
Well, smoke-free. We're not smoking.
No, we're not.
At all.
Vaping.
Yeah.
11 minutes.
I know. 4 months.
That's a...
It's, you know what? Feat. You know what still bothers me? Is that in 4 months, and... I was all like on this bandwagon of like, oh man, I'm going to save so much money when I quit smoking cigarettes. And I spend so much more on vape gear than I would ever spend on cigarettes. It would be cheaper to smoke cigarettes at this point. Healthier, no.
You dropped a month's worth of cigarettes on vape supplies today.
Yes. And then half of it I'm bringing back.
Half of it.
If they don't take back that Kennedy, I'm gonna slap somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that Kennedy's pretty shot too.
Yeah.
All those black rings on the inside. The deck is all stained to hell. Nah,
yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
I don't know why you bought it anyways. The hype, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was like,
you wanted a topper for it.
I wanted the copper top. I was like, dude, this is dope. And then the mod sucks.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if that 510 could have been perfect, and I still wouldn't want it strictly because of the battery. The way the battery's going is horrible. Oh, I know. You're right, Jace. Oh, hands. Wow, that's going to mess with me, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I know, dude. I've got a huge collection of cool shit sitting at home, which is awesome.
We've got a lot behind this painted wall here.
Yes.
A lot going on back there.
It's like a magic wall. Yeah, we got a ton of really cool stuff. Oh, God, hands. I'm telling you, dude. This thing right here,
It looks ridiculous. Dude, it's so satisfying. It's like if you ever have those times like your batteries run out and you want to grab something and just vape nonstop, this is what you need. You take 2 pulls off of this and you're fracking good, dude.
I have not caught a nicotine buzz, which I hate nicotine buzzes anyway, but I have not caught a nicotine buzz in probably the last 2 months. And 2 or 3 pulls off of this, and I'm like lightheaded as a mother, bro.
Hands, check it out. Ninja, improving our life as far as our health, definitely. I mean, quitting smoking in general is going to reduce your risk of cancer by a lot, and then vaping is going to reduce it as well. Not quite as much as quitting everything, but it's going to improve your life there. Has it made us more wealthy? No. Not at all. But I think I'm in a better mood. I don't get as cranky if I don't have a vape. I mean, I could go longer without a vape than I could go longer without a cigarette. So,
oh, easily.
I mean, I guess that's improving it. If I went any more than a half hour without a cigarette, I was freaking the hell out.
I mean, we vape 3 milligrams, dude. That's nothing. Yeah. Like that's
I
not.
think
like,
a cigarette is 12 milligrams for a whole cigarette. So, there's a big difference there as well. So we're really we're one step from quitting nicotine all in general. We can go from 3 to 1.5, and then that's our last step, and we'd be nicotine free. I'm not ready to do that. I have tried,
right,
and it's a big difference. It's easy to notice, and I'm not ready for that yet.
I mean, 3 milligrams isn't a big deal though. You know what I mean? Like it's really not. I mean, we're going straight long, but it's not a big deal. It's as bad for us as having a cup of coffee in the morning.
Or a bottle of pop. Like, a bottle of pop is probably even worse. But
probably. All that corn syrup.
But yes, and especially if you go to diet, then you got aspartame in your body, and that's just not any good for you at all either. So.
No, it's definitely I don't care about a little nicotine, dude. The nicotine never bothered me, dude. It was all the unknown chemicals in there. Like, I don't know if you ever saw those studies where people have like broken down cigarette residue and tested it, and there's stuff in there that they can't even like chemically break down. It shows up on like a thorough lab test as an unknown chemical.
You don't even need a microscope to see it. So I mean, there's some bad stuff in there. There's lots of videos out there of people who've done tests. They've taken a vape product and they've vaped through 240 milliliters of juice in a pack of cigarettes, and this 240 mils of juice can last you 2 weeks if you're a casual vapor, and a pack of cigarettes going to last you a day. And the water that was their filter for both of them was black from one pack of cigarettes. So,
and you can do the test yourself if you're getting into vaping and you like just started and you're still smoking cigarettes. You can do the same thing. You just take a little piece of a paper towel and put it over your cigarette butt and take a pull through it. Take like 3, 4, 5 pulls and look at it. It'd be a gnarly black spot, and then you could take it and put it over your vape. Where's my button? No. And all you're gonna have on there is like a little wet spot. There's not gonna be any black shit. There's not gonna be any tar.
Yeah, this is vapor. This isn't smoke or chemicals or anything. It is vapor, so it's gonna be wet. It's steam pretty much is what it is. So, but it doesn't
recondense. And the big myth that people keep bringing up is that you're drowning yourself slowly. Like it recondenses in your lungs and fills your lungs with fluid, and it doesn't work like that. Whatever you breathe in, your lungs are absorbing and expelling it almost immediately.
Yep.
Like the only way that could possibly build up any form of condensation is if you are chain vaping something like this. All day, every day, like every 5 seconds, taking a 5-second pull.
And holding it in your lungs and not expelling the vapor.
Yeah, you would literally have to hit this for 40 seconds out of every minute all day for it to even do a little bit of like buildup of fluid.
Any damage at all.
It's not going to happen. It's just not. And that's the one that this guy I work with, you know, the dude's always like, oh, I don't want to drown myself. And I'm like, dude, I freaking pull in humongous hits all day, and I'm not drowning. Like, I breathe just fine. Like, I don't know. There's so many crazy myths out there that drive me up the wall, dude. Like, there really, really is.
There's some off-the-wall stuff.
It's out of control, the bad info that's out there right now. Like, it's absolutely crazy. And especially the news doesn't help. Like, all these news channels that are covering, like, vape devices exploding, and they never explain the actual story. They just tell you that some kid had a device that blew up. and it's never what they make it sound like. It's always user error.
Well, they take everything out of context. They don't put words where what was said before it. They just take everything out of context as well. So if you do see something on the news like that, pay attention to it and follow that type of feed and see if they come out with more information, because that's happened back before. But then some more information came out where it was actually 100% the user. It was a user error. So I think that's going to do it for your guys' questions right now. We're going to move on to the actual Goon review. It's really short. We're not going to be showing you the workings of it or anything. Maybe some close-ups about like this. That's going to be about it on this channel. But really, we're just going to talk about it, how we spend our time with it, how easy it is to build on it, and kind of like our pros and cons, what we like and don't like about it. So keep asking the questions. We'll answer them as best as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and start it because I'm kind of biased on this. I have a Goon. It's a clone. It's a 1-to-1. But side by side next to an OG, you can't tell the difference other than there's no serial code. I could not build on the thing for shit. I couldn't build on it. I didn't like it. I put it down and I never vaped it again. So I'm going to start first by saying the Goon takes a learning curve with the build deck that is in it. It's not a post design. It is a clamp style. So with a clamp style, you put your leads in and you clamp them down. And it takes a learning curve. But after about 3 builds, I put 1 in yesterday and I put 2 in today. I have gotten faster at it. Each time I built on it, it got less and less. So with the building curve said, it becomes just a wonderful vape. It's got a great drip tip. It's got a great barrel. And I think he had similar experiences with it as I did. But that's pretty much all I got on it. I really enjoy it. I put more builds in this. It's going to get easier every time. And I like the new logo that they put on this version 1.5 as well. The original Goon had a triangle with 528 customs in it. And how has your experience been with it?
I love it. I mean, I had the same experience with you, and you know that. When the first RDA I ever bought was a Troll 22, and it was cool, but it was small, and I didn't like the grub screws. So I walked into a vape shop one day, and the guy's like, "Oh, we got," and I'd seen a lot of like coil art pictures with, you know, that famous clamp style deck, and I was like, "Those are cool." I was like, "That's pretty cool." And I walked into this vape shop, and the guy's like, "Oh, we got the Goon." I had no idea what it was. No idea that it was like one of the coolest decks of all time. I bought it, went home, and put it right down. I hated building on it. I thought it was the biggest pain in the balls ever, and that learning curve was atrocious. It took me probably 15 or 20 builds to get down a system that worked, and now it is by far my favorite deck. If they made a Goon 1.6 today, and the only difference was that, I don't know,
airflow.
Yeah, maybe they changed the airflow to be a little bit better in single coil, I would buy it immediately. I love the Goon. It's my favorite build deck ever. I could actually, did you show the airflow issue?
I had not shown the airflow issue.
So I'm running single coil right now, okay? This would have been a dope build in dual coil, but it was a little bit too low for my liking. So it's not like a crazy big issue. Let me see if I can line it up right.
CMC, we might. We're going to be very selective on it, though, as well.
So if you're running single coil, now this is kind of one of those things where it's a very particular group of people that are going to fall into the category of having an issue with this. So I've got my single airflow open. I'm going to try to open it up to a point where you can see what I'm talking about. But if you look at that airflow, you see how there's two... I had it. It was good for a second. You can see it's fine.
Yeah.
Do you see how there's a hole on both sides? That's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to just be... Wow, it's all backwards. It's supposed to just be open and then completely closed. But once you get to here, you start opening up airflow here and also on the backside.
Yeah. So if you want a real tight mouth to lung, you're not going to be able to do that.
Which, it's not like the end of the world, but it's one of those things where you pay $70 for an RDA, and you don't expect to run into problems like that. Now, again, for me, I don't really run single coil builds. I have been lately because I've been putting together stuff that ohms out incredibly low. So it has become a problem on a couple builds, but it's not really enough for me to freak out about. But people that want to run these really tiny little quick hit builds, it's going to be an issue for them because you go from like really nice restricted tight airflow to basically gaining, I don't know, you lose a huge chunk of that restriction. So it's a bit of an issue. It's kind of crazy that they even ran into that problem. And all they really had to do,
maybe dial them back 2 millimeters on each hole,
right?
Because that's why it's just like breathing with it fully wide open. So if they cut a millimeter off on each side, they probably would have got that little bit of extra room, so you could have it single coil mode fully open, or have it damn near all the way closed off. If not all the way closed off, if that's how you wanted to vape. So,
and I mean, you can even kind of see it wide open. You can see there's gold rings on the edges where the hole isn't even the right size for the barrel, which is, I mean, it's almost like they knew they were going to have problems, so they tried to kind of make that single airflow as small as it could kind of be so you wouldn't run into this issue. Because, I mean, if it was that half millimeter, it's a total of a millimeter wider, then you'd run into that issue about, I don't know, halfway closed off, which would suck. That would be a real issue. But I mean, for me, that's the only thing I've had an issue with. Other than that, dude, I love the thing. It comes with, the Phillips screws that it's known for, and then it also comes with these really nice Allen heads,
yes,
groove screws that you can kind of finger tighten if you got to do something real up close and you got to get in there, which is awesome. Comes with a squonker pin, which that's awesome. The squonk
pin is fantastic.
Is dope.
He's yet to squonk on a mod yet, but I think tomorrow I'm going to be doing my 4th custom build in this, and I'm going to put it on my little squonking device here. I've used the Pulse 22, that's kind of a brand new RDA, and I'm going to take that off there, and I'm going to put the Goon on there with a squonking pin, and we're going to see how well that does. And the coils that we're using, Lil Chris, we custom make these down with the drill and everything like that. And you do have to change your cotton out, if not every day, at least every 3 days. You do have to change it out. But there are some coils out there. They're called pre-built coils. And you install this whole head type of thing. It'd be kind of like this size on like the TFE 12. You screw it down, you use it for about 2 weeks, and then you throw it away. And then you reinstall another one as well. So
those are nice, but I don't know, man. Like, tanks are cool. They're really convenient, but you got to get a really quality tank. Like, the smock tanks are nice, but man, when those coils go, they
hit or miss
go.
too.
Like, they go bad, or you buy a bad coil right out of the bag. Like, that's horrible.
I think the TFV 12 coil that I had, which is their biggest coil on the market right now, that's available to the public. It can last you 3 days, or it can last you 2 weeks. It kind of depends on how much you vape, how high of wattage you vape at. Was this coil kind of defective when you first got it? So, and when I say defective, I don't mean that it's going to malfunction on you and it's going to cause your mod to like explode. What I mean by defective means that it wasn't wicked properly, or some coils weren't properly dry fired.
Well, that's the other thing though, is that they've been releasing coils for the past couple months that have been arcing.
Arcing? Oh, I don't know about that.
They've been shorting because the way that they do it, I'm sure you've looked at it, but they've got that base plate that connects to the bottom of your tank, right on the 510. Yes. And that little
it's got a gap?
Little piece. Well, so that little piece just pops in there. There's the O-ring, and then all of the leads for your coils come out the bottom, and they get sandwiched between the barrel of the coil.
Yes.
Well, they've been cutting those leads too short or whatever, and so they're not sandwiched, and they'll sit there, and they're just close enough to that cap to arc and shore and do all sorts of stuff. So, and
that definitely will affect the life of it, if not just completely make your mod go haywire.
Right, and there was a kid who was having an issue, and it seems like their mods are safe enough that they won't fire a coil if it's kind of, because it's going to cause like a power surge kind of deal. And it seems like if there's something wrong with the coil, they don't fire. Kid had a V8 stick, and you put a coil in it, thing would not fire the coil whatsoever. He tried everything. And I pulled it out, and I looked, and one of the leads was literally just kind of dangling up against the cap, kind of scraping against it. So even his V8 stick, a little like barely regulated stick, was knowing that the coil was not doing what it was supposed to do. So with like an Alien or something, I'm sure it's not a problem, but it's something to be aware of, that you gotta check your coils every time.
Always inspect your stuff, even if it's brand new out of the box. or if it didn't come with a box, always inspect it thoroughly before you run something on it. I think we were just discussing today that using building your own coils is kind of safer than using stuff that you do buy, because you know what you're putting in there and you know that it's safe. So yeah, in that particular mod by Kangertech, it is called a pre-built coil, and it changes everything out, and it's super easy, and it is super convenient to have a tank with all that juice in it. Chris.
No, you know me, I love my TFE12, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to have to sit there with a pair of tweezers and count out 12 leads every single time and kind of clamp them and make sure they're going to be tight. That's not something I really want to be playing with. I mean, they're awesome, dude. As long as you get a good quality tank and you're getting good quality coils, then it's not a problem. But building your own is definitely, a good RTA, a good RDTA is pretty much the better way to go.
Definitely.
You gain a lot more life out of it that way, too.
Little Chris, I'll answer your question in a second. I kind of want to wrap up the last bit of this Goon review, because I know we're going to have people that rewatch this, so I don't want them to sit through an hour-long video of us just answering your guys' questions, which we love to do, but I'm going to just go over my quick pros and cons on this thing. Drip tips, plentiful. It uses an 810 drip tip. It is not a 510, and there's so many companies out there that only produce the 810 drip tips for the Goon. It uses the Kennedy drip tip, the TFV12 drip tip.
I don't think the Kennedy is the same size. I think the Kennedy is the size as like a TF, like the regular Baby Beast. It's the smaller one. I'll tell you right now.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. I know some newer RDAs by Vandy Vape have come out with using 810. People love the way it feels in their lips. It's not too big, it's not too chunky, it's just right. So it's got a plentiful amount of drip tip options that you can get for this as well. So going on to my second pro now, I like that it's sleek and it's low profile. The machine quality on it's fantastic.
Right.
It's not too, and I am right on the, so
right.
Kennedy drip tips will fit. So overall machine quality is fantastic, and I like that it's not too busy on the barrel section or anything like that. It's not a whole ton of branding. And that's going to be it for my pros. My last con is just that it does have a learning curve. So if you get one, stick with it for at least 5 to 10 builds, and you're going to have it down pack. And each build you put in there after that is going to be fantastic. Pros and cons for you, I kind of covered the best features, but...
Yeah, I don't really have any cons. The little single airflow thing is, if you're doing like super restrictive vaping, then that might be an issue. But maybe 1% of the community is pulled and stuff like that.
So his con and my con was kind of a subjective thing. If you're an experienced builder, this might be fantastic. And if you're a single coil, you don't need to cut the airflow down that far, maybe. So subjective con.
The question I see all the time, like when I post builds up on pages or Instagram or whatever, what I hear all the time is people asking like, oh, I've got an OG. Should I go out and buy the 1.5? Is it worth it? If it's not going to break your bank, if you've got the $70 to spend, then just go buy it. I hated the way that the airflow worked on the OG. I hated the 3 little dots. I hated trying to fine-tune it between those 3 little dots where, the lines weren't causing weird restriction. And that was a pain in the ass.
It made it super turbulent with the 3 holes, especially if you tried making them all of a quarter of a hole.
Right.
It became super, super turbulent.
Yeah, you could feel the air kind of... Uh-oh. Oh, boy. There we go. It made... I wonder how long it was like that for. It made the air, feel like this while you were hitting it. It was kind of weird. So, the airflow change. And, look, I don't condone buying clones by any means. But, realistically, you could just go out and buy a cheapo 1.5 clone for $20 and take the barrel off and have a little bit of an easier time changing airflow because you don't got those outer lines. I hate clones, but if it's a real you don't have the money for it, you could, I guess.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna touch real quick on the clone things. You might as well just buy the original. The original is gonna be perfect quality. You know you're gonna have a low possibility of it having a defective thing, such as like the airflow being even worse than this one is. Or as you go buy a clone, your chances of getting a defective RDA is going to go up, or a defective mod is going to go up, and you're spending $25 still. And they've mass produced those at probably like $1.25 a piece, and they're making like a $2,000 profit on it.
Right,
2,000% profit on it. So that's just go for the OG. It's worth it. It's totally worth it. I didn't know I bought a clone when I bought the Goon, but just go for the original. Save up your money.
Well, I agree. I'm saying if you already own an OG and you don't like the airflow and you just want a barrel and you're trying to not buy a whole new deck, you could. I'm not saying to buy a clone and use it. I would never use a clone deck. But if you just want one single, I think you can actually just buy the barrels.
They're $25. $25 for the painted barrels. You can choose from an array of different colors as well. So
that could help you out. I mean, all the parts are completely interchangeable. The posts from the OG will go on the 1.5.
The barrels are interchangeable.
I think it's one way or the other. I think it's the posts from the 1.5 going on the OG. They fit a little odd, but they're still 100% safe to use. Completely fine. They just look a little goofy. I can't remember if they like lean in. They do something weird, or they're a little offset. But I mean, all the parts, like you could see what we did. All the parts are interchangeable. We just swapped over barrels. It's a 1.5 to a 1.5. But you can get some cool little effects doing that.
He's got the black barrel, and I have his black top cap and his black base, and I've got his rose gold barrel. So you can also do that with the stainless one. So that's another kind of a pro, I guess. If you got the OG and you want to get the 1.5, but for some reason you like the deck better, you can switch them out.
I mean, there's really, realistically though, if you're like, man, I really don't have $70 to spend, but I've been looking at these 1.5s. If you have an OG and you're kind of tight on budget, don't even bother. You're really not missing out on anything huge. And one thing I do want to touch on really quick about the 1.5 is every single website you go on, every single one has a big bullet note stating that you have more build area. And you do not.
No,
by no means do you have. You technically, by about 0.003 of a millimeter, you have less build area. That is not the case. It's the exact same size, exact same dimensions. There's no difference in build size.
I thought they made the clamp style go up higher, but they made it narrower.
They're actually wider.
They're wider
by 0.03 of a millimeter.
I thought it was the other way around. Okay.
Yep. That was the thing, is they were like, oh, we changed the post style so they're taller and you can do this and do that, but they're literally the exact same thing, which is messed up because everyone says it's bigger, but there was a couple guys in Coil Wars that took their little calipers, they measured every single dimension, and they were like spot on exact same size.
So if the actual difference between the OG Goon and the version 1.5 is mainly the airflow, and they changed the logo on it. That's it.
Yeah,
that is absolutely it.
If you do have the $70 though, I mean, buy it. It's a 1.5. You can't go wrong with the Goon. They're awesome. I do love, and I hate Allen screws, but I do like those Allen screws. You can kind of finger tighten if you got to do close work. That's awesome.
And they're super deep. They're super deep as well.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, yeah. As far as build area, you can open up the clamps slightly wider.
Yes.
So I guess in that sense, you can fit slightly taller builds. But realistically, who's stacking builds that tall?
Yeah.
No one.
No one at all. So, Chris, I'm gonna touch base on you, dude. If you don't smoke cigarettes, and you don't vape right now, don't do either of them. Don't vape. Like, if you feel like you got to do something, then fine, go for vaping. But if you just want to do it just because you want to do it, don't do it. There's no point in it. You don't need to put nicotine in your body. It's going to cost you a ton of more money that you do, or maybe you do have it, but it's going to turn into an expense that you don't need to have, and it's going to be something in your lungs that you don't need to put in your lungs. Vaping isn't cool. It's directed toward people who want a safer alternative for vaping. So I'm not trying to divert you from our channel or whatever. Come in and have fun with us, but I'm being real with you. Don't vape if you haven't started yet. If you don't smoke cigarettes, there's no reason for you to vape, man. No reason at all.
Yeah.
But
then it happens too often where people start vaping just because it's the thing to do, and it's really not. I mean, I know that we, you know, all of us guys kind of make it look like it is, but it's not just a thing to do. It's not like a fad. It's not a fashion statement. It's, we were dumb enough to start smoking cigarettes, and then now we're dumb enough to spend every paycheck on vape equipment. Vape supplies. Yeah. They're not toys, dude. They're not fidget spinners. They're not toys. It's something you've got to be very meticulous with. You've got to really. There's an insane amount of research you have to do. There's a lot to it, and the thing is that. The honest truth is a lot of guys that you see on the news who hurt themselves with a vape are people that bought it and then just went ahead and just did with it. They didn't do any research. They thought it was just a thing to do and they got hurt. Yeah.
Even if you buy the simplest mod like that sub-VOD, something wrong could happen with that mod if you don't take care of it properly and upgrade your equipment or whatever you need to do. So it's something you got to put a lot of time into researching. Like, I'm researching every day on how to make it safer for us. I know him and I, when we put builds in today, we're like, wow, that's going to be like, it could be a 0.02 ohm difference of being safe and not safe. So if you don't feel safe, don't do it, So.
And now that we're talking about it, I don't know if we really want to go this direction, but I want to talk about that post on Facebook where the kid blew his face apart.
I'm happy to touch on that.
So I'm sure if you guys use Facebook, I'm sure you've seen this. This got like millions of views on Facebook, thousands of likes, tens of thousands of comments. So what had happened was a guy put up a post on Facebook, and it basically started off as, I want to touch base with you guys and explain that I vape. And he says, I know it's stupid, and I know I shouldn't do it, and blah, blah, blah. And he goes on to say that he was on his way to work, and he was using his vape pen, and the thing blew up in his mouth. Now, I will say it time and time again, I feel horrible for the guy, because he got messed up. He lost a bunch of teeth. He has a gigantic burn scar up the side of his face. Horrible injury. And he's got this whole essay about how vaping is extremely dangerous, about how, it's a stupid thing to do and how it can happen to anybody.
He made people feel bad for him.
He got sympathy from it, and he also made, and I'll tell you, I saw that post. It came out, I think, around December, and it was right before I got into vaping, and I put off vaping for about a month because of this kid's post. I read through what he said, and I was freaked out. Now, mind you, and this is for like a lot of you guys that really are kind of just looking at it. You see a post like that, and you don't want to do the research. You see a kid blowing his face off, and you're like, dude, I don't want to go near that stuff. I'd rather smoke cigarettes. You out. Yeah. You're like, oh, a cigarette's never going to blow my face off. But here's the thing, guys. A guy talked to him on Facebook, kind of asked him what exactly happened, and this guy had not taken care of his device and whatsoever.
The whole period that he had it.
By any means. So, so a build you put together like this, okay? You put it together yourself. You got to take care of it. You got to clean your coils, re-wick it, all that good stuff.
Change your coils.
I don't know. I mean, I go over the top. I change coils like every couple days just because I like playing with wire. But, you don't really, realistically, man,
you could go at least a month on one coil if you're cleaning it properly.
Like every few days. Like every time you re-wick, basically, clean your coil. But I don't know, man. I think around the 4 or 5 week mark, it's definitely time to start changing it out. I know you can go longer, but just, play it safe. So what happened was this kid had walked into a vape shop. He bought a mech mod, which is the things that can injure people the most. Those are the ones you need to know what you're doing. They sold this kid a mech mod. He knew nothing about Ohm's law, knew nothing about amperage, voltage, anything, nothing about resistance. And these guys just slapped some random build in this. Look, guys, these gave you pipe bombs, okay? These can work out like pipe bombs if you don't know what you're doing. They slapped some random build in it, and he vaped on it for a year straight. A year. That's incredibly ridiculous to vape on the same coil for a year.
Same battery.
Same batteries. And I think they were like HG2s. They were brownies. They were like lower amperage batteries. So not only did some guy at a shop, and for all he knew, the dude put some crazy cloud comp build in there that you can hit for, 3 seconds on an extremely high drain battery, high amp battery. And this kid's just putting some random, sort of little baby batteries in it. But the kid knew nothing about battery safety. He knew nothing about the build that was in his deck. It was just something some guy slapped together. It could have been a .08 build for all he knew. And he vaped on it for a year straight on the same battery. Yep. And that's why it happened. I'll guarantee you he had a torn wrap. He had... I almost want to say that the guy that talked to him said he tore the wrap off because it was ripped. So he pulled it off all the way. Yeah.
Or he could have had a lead in his coil that was touching the barrel of his RDA. And that can be a big problem too. It can cause a lot of malfunctions with your battery.
But that's the big story. That's one of the biggest stories that's going around about people getting hurt with vapes. And
it's 99% user error.
That in his case is 100% user error. That is, and I mean, I've yet to hear a story of some kid buying an alien having it explode just for no reason. I've yet to hear it. No. And a guy that I went to high school with, he started vaping last summer or something like that, and he had it was some like side fire mech tube, and he had it at work and he had it in his pocket. Which, look, man, some people tell you shut off your device, whatever. I just did it this past weekend, or this past Monday. We went to that concert. My mod was completely turned off, and I still didn't like having it in my pocket. I don't like putting mods in my pocket. I don't like it. But this guy had a mech device, a device you cannot turn off. There's I mean, some have lock rings and stuff, but even with a lock ring, I don't trust it.
Never 100% safe on that either. So,
but he had a side fire mech in his pocket, button triggered and stayed on for God knows how long, and the button top on his battery blew open. It vented all over his leg, and he now has a giant 3rd-degree burn patch all over his thigh. This kid went on Facebook and put a whole thing up about how his his vape pen exploded in his pocket, and now he's in the hospital and he's got 3rd-degree burns and this, that, and the other thing. Not in any of his Facebook posts did he say that he had his mech in his pocket while he was working on a roof. And I had to message him on Facebook and ask him what happened, and then I, like the asshole I am, went on his Facebook post and typed in and said that it was 100% his fault. It was not his device's fault. His device did what it was told to do, and it was told to fire nonstop. And he deleted the post because he realized that he was an idiot. But it's stuff like that. People who just don't know what they're doing, and they, like I've got batteries where, and there's so much to it, and this is why it's really dangerous because people don't realize how much there is to it. Where I've got batteries with little tiny divots in the wrap, where 99% of the community will say, "Dude, it's fine. Like, just use it." And you know what? I won't. I'll have it rewrapped. Like,
absolutely, always rewrap it.
You need to be 100% on top of your, like, you change out your batteries on your device before you charge them. Check your wraps, because your battery can blow up in your charger just as easily as it can in your device if you're not paying attention. Yeah. And that's when they rip the most, is coming out of your charger.
We might have had a small malfunction on ohm meter this past week while he was here. We had a wrap that had a small tear in it, and my ohm meter crapped out on us. It might have been because that small tear was there and I didn't realize it. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that it probably could have happened with that. Being that it's ohm meter, it really wasn't that big of a deal. But had I put that in a tube mech, that could have been seriously a big problem for me. I probably wouldn't be here had something went wrong with that. And these are horror stories. We're not trying to scare anybody. Little Chris, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. Come to us, bro, if you're going to do it. But you should be afraid of what you're putting toward your face. In my opinion, it's okay to be afraid of it. You know that you should feel safe when you do it, but just know that it's super, super dangerous if you're not careful with it at all. That sounds dumb, I guess, it's okay to be afraid of it, I guess, but like I want them to be afraid so they just aren't putting stupid things in there.
No,
I guess.
Dude, I trust my batteries. I know my batteries are good. I know they're super good batteries. I know my wraps are good. I know my build is completely safe. And every time I hit that fire button, I'm still cautious. Even if there's actually been times where I've fired this thing and my coil will stay a little bit extra warm for a second after a pull, and I'll hear like a juice pocket start sizzling off, and I back the hell up for a second, and I'm like, is that a vent or is that just juice? And then you see a little puff of vape come out of the cap, and it's just juice, and it's not one of those things where I'm like trying to make it look bad, but realistically, dude, this can very well be a pipe bomb. Mm-hmm. Very well be a pipe bomb. And we're talking like pipe bomb. Like this part of your face completely removed. If you don't know what you're doing, if you are not paying attention, it can be extremely, extremely dangerous. But we use them all day. We don't have a problem because we trust what we do. We know what we have in there. Yeah. We pay attention to what we're doing. And I mean, we even still, it's funny, you know.
He'll open up a vape tool that'll tell him like what ohms his build is going to come out to. I'll open up my vape tool. I'll be like, I'll put it in there just to make sure it's going to come out correctly. You know, just to double check what he did, make sure he didn't put something in wrong. And he does the same for me as well. So, what's cool? What am I missing?
Magnets.
Oh.
Already, dude. That's all right, little glue.
I got glue right behind me.
Oh, man. Like it.
But,
Jesus. You see that? Holy fuck.
Yeah, Chris, there's so much to vaping, man. You know what? If this is something you want to do, that's perfectly fine. Keep coming into our channels. We're going to be... this is our first video, so we got a lot of information to throw at you guys. But we need to, this is like a vaping 101, and it's going to be reviews and safety and issues we're having with mods as well.
So I want to, on that note, issues with mods, did you just see what just happened? When I took that magnet off?
No.
It just scraped across my negative terminal, and I got a little arc. Huh. Well, that's a big problem.
Right here? Down here?
It was like right here. It just scraped right there.
Jesus.
And connected out through the body.
So like if I had a wedding ring and did that, then that would cause an arc.
that's a big problem.
Yeah, always.
I don't like exposed terminals like that. Now I'm curious if that just drained that one battery a little bit too low. Wow. See, stuff like that, dude. Don't like it. That's that. I'm gonna glue those in. I'm gonna put these on the charger and see. Stuff like that, dude. You gotta like even stuff like that. It freaks me out, dude. Having small things like that freaks me out. Yeah,
and that's good. I'm glad he's like that. I'm a little bit more non-worrisome, but it's really good that he's super cautious about that type of stuff. And like, say we do another one of these live streams with you guys tomorrow. This particular mechanical mod right here, it's a high-end one, but I could find a default in this tomorrow while I'm on stream with you guys for all I know, and and we're gonna discuss that right off the bat with you guys, and this is just gonna be a new journey that we are gonna start with you guys and fellow new subscribers, and we're gonna talk about a ton of stuff. We have a lot of information. I feel comfortable talking about a lot of stuff, even mechanical mods, and I've been doing it, for 2 years, and he's been doing it for 6 months, and he even knows quite a bit more about how to build coils than I do as well. I know a lot more about the mechanics of how mods work, and he knows a lot more about how to build coils and build safe. So maybe we can get something with you guys and new subscribers on what we particularly want to cover with you guys. You guys are going to be our content for this channel, along with news that we see, new products, and all of that such. So
I'm never going to get that to stick back on there like that. Now that I want these to come out so I can glue them in, they're never going to come out.
Did you put them in right?
Unfortunately.
I'll get it out for you.
They haven't come out since, though. That's the problem. That was the first time.
Lift straight up. Can you do that?
No, because you got that little lip. I'm just gonna.
I'll get it out for you tomorrow.
But it's stuff like that. Like if you guys buy a mod, so let's say you decide you want to start vaping, and you buy some mod, and you find issues that you don't like with it, you've got to make sure that it's not something that could potentially be dangerous. So like one of the things that I don't like about my Smock GX350 is the battery door on it has a bunch of tension, like an unreal amount of tension, and the only thing holding it closed is this little tiny little piece of metal tab.
Yep.
And I mean, they're using like pot steel or pot aluminum, so that stuff can crack at any point, and you can end up going to take a vape and your batteries fall out and smash on the floor, and now you just lost all 4 batteries. And it's been fine for a couple months now, but I know for a fact that at some point it's going to snap. Same thing with those alien doors.
Yeah.
But the alien doors are nicer because they've got a nice long little tab that locks into a slot. These are just like clip-ins, and it's not for me, dude. It freaks me out. But you got to.
And this is one of those types of mods, that we bought kind of on a whim. We were like, damn, we really need this type of function. Okay, they've got one, let's get it. We didn't research it or anything like that before, so this is something that if you guys do your research and you want a mod, look some videos up, look at some Reddits, look at Facebook, ask some questions, and someone will say, hey dude, the magnets will come off and they could cause some arcing. And you're going to be like, whoa, that's not for me. I don't even want that chance.
Frankly, I don't like having those terminals exposed like that all the time. At least those tab style ones.
We should have switched it around and put buttons down here.
Right.
Yeah. Or magnets
something.
Up there.
I don't know. Just so they're not I don't like having your batteries plugged in. Your stuff's what. Yeah. I mean, what was to happen if I was to have my batteries in and went down like that?
Or this bottom half.
Right.
Touched it. Yeah. So.
What was to happen? What would happen there? Because that will totally touch on those 2 edges.
Yeah. So. Hands. I did sort of answer your question. I did not. I don't know. Dead and I haven't really discussed every little bit of detail about this channel, but say we put out a banging review like we did on this Goon. It's a great RDA, but tomorrow he could log in on his channel and just do an update of how it's working for him and be like, hey, I found this issue, or for some reason my barrel bent, I squeezed too tightly.
Right.
So we're going to be doing updates like that. I think you kind of agree with that. If we review a mod together, and then one of us finds something wrong with it the very exact next day or 2 days from down the road, whoever had the issue can just pop on and do a little update on it as well, a little couple-minute update. So,
which I think will be nice, because all these reviewers, man, I've always had a problem with it where they receive an item in the mail, they use it that day, and then they tell you it's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's screwed up because you will never see one of these reviewers. I mean, some guys do it. Like Grim Green, he actually does it quite a lot where he does his live stream thing, and he'll be like, oh, and by the way, 3 weeks ago I reviewed this, and now it's doing this. But a lot of these reviewers, like dudes like Rip Trippers, he'll tell you something's amazing, but he's not going to tell you when 2 weeks later he had, I don't know, the threads blow out of it, or something. He won't tell you that.
Or he'll review something and it's fantastic, and I lost my train of thought.
He'll tell you that it's fantastic.
He'll only review stuff that's good. That's the only stuff he'll review. If something's complete shit, so it could be this one right here. This is $180 tube mech. If something goes wrong with this, say he was reviewing this, he should put out a review on it before before he puts out the review on it. If something goes wrong with it, he just doesn't review it. That's not right. We're going to get products, and we're going to give them bad reviews if they deserve it. We're not just going to not review it because we don't like it. That's not how you do reviews either. You need to review it whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, I don't like how all these... And it's becoming a new thing where everyone's like, oh yeah, I will never give you a biased review. But then as soon as they say that, you see a big thing on their page that says, oh, such and such company sponsored this video. They sent this out to me for a review. And 90% of these guys are getting paid to give out a good review. Even guys who've reviewed the TSU-12.
Just receiving a free product is payment enough to put out a good review.
Right.
You're going to get a free product next time they come out with something. So.
I have not seen a single big YouTuber talk about the TFV12s leaking or
misfiring, not connecting.
Right. Anything. I've yet to see it, and it's an issue that everybody has. All of us that own a TFV12, they leak. After 2-3 days of use, they start to leak like crazy, and none of these guys mention it.
No.
And that's out of it. Like, stupid small stuff like that. Like, you know, all you got to say is, oh, I've noticed that, you know, down by my airflow adjustment, I noticed that there's a small collection of juice. It's not huge. It can be enough to sort of pour out, but just so you know. None of them tell you that, although it's something that you should know.
Yeah,
like, you should know that it happens.
People should definitely know the small defects. Like, a reviewer might be like, oh, my magnet just popped out of my battery door. Not a big deal. I'll just glue it in place. They don't mention it. But say he didn't realize that magnet popped out of there and he half-assed put his door on for some reason, and it happened to touch his negative connections, guess what? The man's in some big trouble. So,
like, that little arc just scared the hell out of me. Honestly.
It won't shut without both batteries, yeah.
I know. I'm trying to get this one to, like, pop on there, though. Oh, you bastards. Now let's see if you have to buy cheapo mods, though.
What are you trying to do? Get one to come out?
Yeah, I want to get this last one out.
Oh, you're trying to get both of them out.
I want to glue them both in, dude. I'm pretty sure they're both gonna do it.
Little Chris, juice is really hard for us. We're both buying new juices a lot. I know I particularly that's hard to say.
You got it.
I'm tired. I'm particularly accustomed to fruity vapes. I like candy vapes. Anything with fruit in it, blood orange, watermelon, strawberry, grape, anything like that I particularly enjoy. Dead likes his own kind of juice as well. Which kinds do you like?
I like them desserts and bakeries, and
he likes desserts.
You know, breads and cupcakes and cakes and honey mellow.
Oh, I also heard there's a problem if you drop the TFE12, it'll crack the glass or handle it wrong like that. And vape vans are for faggots.
Yeah, something about vape bans are for nerds or something. It was.
What do you get a vape ban for? That's stupid.
I think it's.
My glass is indestructible.
I think that usually when glass breaks, I think a lot of times it's user error. I think typically it's user error when those break. I could be wrong.
I had a TFV8 and my juice was way too hot or something. It made the glass crack.
Yeah, I think it was all the. I had it in the sunlight, and I think the juice started to swell, and it cracked the glass from swelling. I think it froze actually.
It must have. Yeah, swelling and freezing.
More like kidding hands.
Only kidding.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, but no, oh god, I wanted to say something and I can't remember what it was.
That's okay.
But I don't know. I think a lot of what this channel is gonna be is just like, and I'll tell you right now, I've got mods that I bought that I absolutely love and hate. Like that RX 300, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, this is the best mod ever. And then that's it. Like, I'm going to tell you why I hate it.
But also, is the TFV12 you have on there, maybe
glued your cap on.
Probably. Is it drawing too much amperage? You know, is the TFV12 drawing too much amperage?
And that's why I get concerned about you glued the crap out of that. So is the RX 300 overly safe with its amp draw limit, or is the GX 350 underly safe and overly ambitious?
Yeah, exactly.
On how it trusts itself with amp draw, because you know, granted, that's a pretty brutal amount of amperage I think trying to pull.
Don't put glue in your mouth.
Yeah, probably not. You know, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's sticky now.
That's my spit.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's glue. So like you know that GX 350 it's pushing out a lot of voltage, and that coil is pulling a lot of amperage.
Yep.
So that should be a coil like that. That should be like a 50 amp coil. Agreed. You know, like that's a lot of power. So is the RX, you know, playing it really safe and giving you, no matter what your build is, they're giving you like a 40 amp cutoff or a 38 amp cutoff, just assuming everybody's using like LGs? Or is the GX just does not give a shit and will let you push that thing to 100 amps if you have a coil that'll let you?
Or is the GX batteries routed differently than the RX? The RX could be all in series, and the GX could be 2 sets in series but in parallel at the same time. So,
right, it's stuff like that like I really want to research and really get that information out to this group if we can somehow pull it off.
Yes. Your favorite flavor is grape Kool-Aid.
Oh, Jesus.
And as far as green apple, Chris, green apple is a really hard flavor to do to get right. That is going to be one of the flavors that I do not like, fruity wise. It's chemically, it can be if it's not done correctly. So same as grape, it can be very overpowering. So make sure that you can taste test this before you're going to purchase a $20 to $30 bottle of juice as well.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't like buying juices online. I read these flavors and I'm like, oh my god, that sounds delicious, and then it tastes like ass.
That is bad glue. Like, it's good glue. Whoa.
You're good. You're okay.
Yeah, really, Chris. I make my own vape juice.
Sorry.
That's another little side thing I have going on. He's gonna start making his possibly, if the funds are right or whatever. But I make my own vape juice, and I know for a fact, grape I've got lucky with. I hit it spot on the first time I did it, but I've had lots of grape vapes where some are really good and some just taste like hot sweetness in your mouth and kind of pledgy or Lysol-y. It's chemically. Not that it has those in it, but it just tastes not right. So Squeeze makes the best green apple I've ever had. That is my daily juice. Hands, I have had squeezed, and that is about the only juice I can have. That's about the only green apple juice I can tolerate is by squeezed. So
I wish I vaped the grape so I could join this conversation.
I have grape.
It's our grape.
It's our
Your
grape. It's good.
Our grape. It is good. I've just never really tried any other grape, so I don't know what good grape and what bad grape compares to.
Well, you should explore. You don't have to.
Yeah, but then I gotta buy at least like a 30 mil, and like if I hate it, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not like that's never happened before, but
yeah. That fancy pink bottle one.
And let me, while we're on the topic of juice, talk about the newly released Lucky Bird. So for those of you guys who are into your whole like desserty, cereal-y, kind of like snacky type vapes, there's a juice that was around for a while called Crunch Time, and it was a Captain Crunch with marshmallow kind of treat bar kind of flavor, like a Rice Krispie treat bar, but it was with Captain Crunch instead of Rice Krispies. And it was amazing. It was an amazingly delicious juice. And I don't know if they changed the labs. I don't know what they did. But the juice has absolutely tasted like complete ass for about a month. And that was my favorite juice next to Honey Mellow, which I think we should talk about Honey Mellow. Since it's like...
Okay. Honey Mellow is a new flavor that he has introduced me in. We don't really have it here in Michigan where I'm from, but it's pretty popular where he's from. It's by 80V or 80 Volt, however you want to put it. And what's the flavor profile?
That one is a Honey Nut cereal with graham cracker and marshmallow.
Graham cracker and marshmallow is what I taste mostly. It has banana in it. Sorry. I am not a fan of banana. I think I like the sweeter candy flavored type banana flavors. He likes the more natural banana flavors, but I enjoy it. It is a damn good vape. The VG-PG ratio is fantastic for most atomizers that you have. Atomizers are RDAs, RTAs.
I think that one's a 75-25, if I'm correct.
75-25 sounds about right.
Let me just double check the bottle right here. I'm 95% sure it is. And yes, it is.
Yes, 75-25 VG-PG ratio. So the PG is low because that is the flavor. That's the flavor. That's where the flavor is. That holds in the flavor. It's in stuff like Jell-O, for example. The the VG is the vegetable glycerin, which is the thick stuff that kind of keeps the flavor, what do I want to say?
Stable?
Yeah, it keeps it stable, and it's not too watery. You don't want it runny, otherwise it's just going to vape really bad. So VG is found in things like toothpaste, shampoo,
granola bars.
You wash your dick with it, like body wash. It's found in.
Whoa.
VG is in body wash and toothpaste.
I understand that, but you're supposed to wash your dick.
Oh, you don't?
I gotta talk to my mom. She didn't teach me.
I thought it smelled funny.
Yeah.
But it's found in a lot of common things that we use. So, is it dangerous inhaling it? Versus being absorbed through your skin? Not at all. Not at all. Your body absorbs it either way, and it just kind of dissipates in your body, and it's perfectly safe. And it's super easy to do. No, we do not buy pure nicotine. Pure nicotine is damn near impossible to get your hands on unless you have, like, chemistry license or something like that.
And it's very, 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 very toxic.
Very toxic. If you get it on your skin, it can cause burns instantly. You can get 100 milligram nicotine, but it's still not nicotine. It's based with PG, propylene glycol. So it's still based with something. It's not pure nicotine. So. And
while we're talking about nicotine real quick, just so you guys know, those of you guys that are trying to get into vaping, if you already vape, you already know this, but nicotine can be extremely, extremely poisonous if you ingest it. So if you get into vaping and you've got little kids running around the house or whatever, do not leave your bottles out in the open.
No, put it up.
It will tear your stomach lining apart. It will poison you. It will kill you. Nicotine can be very, very poisonous. So don't go leaving like vape juice bottles with no safety caps just chilling. It's very dangerous. It's totally fine if you're ingesting it through inhaling it because it's a very small dosage of it. But if you were to take a full bottle of it and just chug this bottle, you are going to get very, very sick and end up in the hospital. It is going to do all sorts of damage to you. So don't go drinking. Like, it's totally fine if you want to taste test a little drop on your finger as long as it's like under 6 milligrams. Yeah. Like a 3 milligram little drip, like a tiny little, that's fine. But do not just leave it out where some kid is going to be like, ooh, this smells good. That's not good. That is
nicotine,
not good.
I wouldn't say it absorbs through your skin. It kind of burns your skin if it's high enough concentrate.
It does. It absorbs in.
Well, I'm sure it absorbs in, but it's not good for your skin.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's gonna cause damage to your skin, but if you're like mixing juices with no gloves on, it absorbs in. Yeah, you'll get sick as hell.
I mix my own stuff, and I got a box of gloves here, and I put them on just like a doctor, and I feel professional. And I have glasses, so I don't use the goggles, like I mentioned in my comment. But if you don't have glasses, such as him, if he started vaping, he needs to put on some sort of sunglasses that are lightly tinted or something, goggles for his face. You gotta be safe with that as well. Everything about vaping, Chris, you've got to be 100% safe with it, dude. So, keep coming back to our channels. If you're gonna start vaping, dude, I want to help you out. If you're gonna absolutely do this, we're feeding you a lot of information, so. Just stay away from mixing your own shit right now. That it takes a lot of time, and it's the initial cost is really expensive as well.
So can I go back to my Lucky Bird?
Yes, back to our juice. We got off topic about nicotine. Back to the Lucky Bird and Honey Mellow.
So let me go back to this Crunch Time thing. So what happened was Crunch Time was my favorite juice, and then it started tasting like shit. They probably changed the labs because they were cheaper. It happens all the time. But so I've not been able to get good, and I was hyping it up to this guy for like months. I was like, dude, this juice is amazing. I'm bringing you some. And then a couple weeks before I came out here, went to shit. So I brought him this little 0 Nic bottle, tastes like crap. And it's unfortunate. He doesn't know what the original tastes like, so he can't taste and be like, he could be like, oh, it tastes delicious, but it does not.
It tasted fine, but it's not the OG delicious.
No, it's not OG delicious whatsoever. And so. There's a company out there, I think the actual brand name is Redbird, and that's one of their flavors is Redbird. It's like a strawberry cheesecake. They've got Yellowbird, which is a lemon cheesecake. They've got Bluebird, which is a blueberry cheesecake. And they went away from their cheesecake, and they came out with Lucky Bird, which is a They call it a cereal treat bar marshmallow with berries, but it's basically just a Captain Crunch treat bar with berries. There's almost no berry flavor, and what there is just makes it amazing. This juice tastes delicious. If you're into that whole, cereally, snacky, kind of desserty flavors, this stuff is amazing. It's actually funny you asked that, Chris, because I do all the time. And this guy thinks I'm absolutely insane.
He's batshit crazy.
Like all my RDAs, I'll drip one flavor and then I'll go drip another right on top of it. And he's like, "Oh no, I don't get it. And like, you know what, dude? You catch a little bit of the old flavor for a good few pulls, but they eventually overlap. And
yeah, they do. I know they do.
I still mostly gain whatever flavor I just dripped. Like I barely get any of the old flavor. I honestly, there's a lot of juices that I love mixing. Like I'll mix like a 4-to-1 ratio of Honey Mellow to Lucky Bird or Crunch Time, and it is amazeballs. Like what was the other one I did? I used to do Man from Nantucket with MBYC, and that was delicious. Which MBYC I should have brought you. That's like a toasted vanilla custard marshmallowy flavor.
Okay.
And it's the MBYC stands for My Balls Your Chin.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. Like it's super good. Actually, the company that makes Honey Mellow makes it.
Okay.
Sick Boy. Yeah, same company. Okay. Super good.
Yeah, I'm completely against mixing my juice flavors. I don't know why. I really like to enjoy a juice, especially if it's good. I don't like tainting the flavor of it at all. Like, I've got my vapes for in the morning. Like, I have a coffee vape. Love the thing. Only vape it in the morning. And I'll never change it. I'll never mix something into it. I vape 3 or 4 different things a day. If I'm craving something sweet, I've got something sweet in it. If I've got something with bakery goods in it, I've got something with bakery goods in it. I don't just vape one thing all day and just, like, drip, I want some of this today, cheerio. I can't do it. I just can't.
It's a shame, man. There's some flavors you can really mix together, and it's fantastic. If I drip you a little bit of Honey Mellow with Lucky Bird, will you do it?
Yeah, I'll do it, but I'm not going to do it to my own shit.
Okay, good.
Jeez. I have a bottle in my cabinet now that I'm scared to fuck with. It has like 8 different flavors in it that were small amounts of almost.
So it's like a spit bucket at a wine tasting.
Yeah, hands, that might be perfectly fine. It's not dangerous at all. So what you need to do is shake it really good. Just give it a good old shake. Take the cap off, let it breathe for a little bit, shake it up, and do a knuckle test. And when you do a knuckle test, you drop like a very, very small bit of juice on your knuckle. Not even a drop, just like touch it. Touch the dripper to your knuckle and taste it. And if it tastes fine, it's probably going to vape just fine. If it tastes rancid as fuck on your tongue, don't do it.
There we go. Let's get some of that little pool out of there. I just pulled a U.
I'm confused by what Chris said. See if you can.
My coworker would have a half of tank and green apple, then he would add this flavor called Spider-Man.
Wait, you don't have that stuff in here, do you? The pecan stuff?
No.
Which stuff was that?
Solar cannoli.
Okay.
No, I do not. No, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with mixing flavors. You can even mix nicotine levels. It's actually a very common thing where I've done it myself where I'll want a certain flavor in a 3 and all I have it is a 6. And I'll buy a bottle of 0 and a bottle of 6, mix them up, and it dilutes it down. No, it's completely fine, dude. Mixing juices is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. It's not like there's chemicals in it that are going to chain react and combust and blow up. And no, it's totally fine to mix juices. We just did it. It's completely fine, dude.
Yeah.
It's A-okay.
Just mixed right there. Right there and that. Right there. He just mixed some juices.
It's pretty good, yeah?
It tastes fantastic. But I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it in my own shit.
I know. That's okay. That's fine.
Hands. Funny story about cinnamon vapes. This guy.
You mother. Whatever, dude.
You seen me take a hit off of that, and it was quite shocking when I vaped it. So I handed it to this guy. I'm like, dude, here, vape this. He's like, what is it? I'm like, don't worry about it. He smelled it. He goes, oh, it's cinnamon.
No,
so I say,
that's not what happened.
So I say,
that's not
just
what
vape
happened.
it. So he goes,
no, that is not at all what happened. Okay, so for like a month, he's been telling me how he loves his Limitless RDA stick combo kit, or his RDTA mod, little combo kit, and he just hands it to me. Doesn't say a word. He just hands it to me, and I go and take a big old pull off of it like I normally would, and as soon as that vapor hits my throat locked up. It was like, no way, dude.
On fire.
And I'm like... And I could taste it in my mouth, and I'm like, oh my god, and he starts cracking up, and I'm like, dude, it's cinnamon. He's like, just rip it, bro. And so I took a pull off of it, and I thought I was going to die.
Burned even more.
There was no, oh, it's cinnamon. No, it was just...
Yeah.
There was no words.
It kind of feels like if you eat like a melting, molten hot spoonful of cheese and swallow it, it burns all the way down. But did it taste good?
No.
Oh.
Not at all.
I think it tastes fantastic.
It tasted like Fireball, and I hate Fireball. No,
it tastes good.
No, that was horrendous, dude. That was a mean, dirty trick, is what that was. No, he did not. No, and that is on the record. That is the truth. He did not hand it to me. There was no sniffing it. There was no.
You sniffed it.
I did not. I just took a pull because I thought you were like, oh, take a pull. Hey, this is a stick that I love so much. Take a pull. No, you just put it in my face, and like an idiot, I just took a pull off.
I forced him to vape it.
No, he didn't.
That's what happened.
He just put it in my face, and I vaped it. He put it in my face, and I put it in my mouth, and then I coughed. And then I took a hit off his vape.
No, he's not allergic to cinnamon. It's just really, really strong cinnamon, so it kind of burns. It's like if you chew a stick of big red gum, it kind of burns for the first 5 minutes.
Do me a favor, Chris. This is what it's like. Go out to your kitchen, grab a spoon, fill it with cinnamon, put it in your mouth, and try to swallow it. That's what it's like.
Nah. Yeah, he's right. He's right.
No, that was not cool. It was not funny.
Although, Chris, if you have any allergies, be aware of what you're buying. I'm allergic to tree nuts. And a lot of vapes have tree nuts in them, and I have to really watch out for that. So if you're allergic to any kind of food flavors, be aware of what you're buying. So like if you're allergic to, let's just say cinnamon, don't buy shit with cinnamon in it. It could fuck you up. It could ruin your day.
Yeah, we actually had a close call this past weekend.
He tried giving me pecans.
So, okay, I didn't know, first off, I didn't know there was pecans in it. You don't get any flavor worth of pecan or pecans, whatever, out of it whatsoever. And it's by the same lineup that makes Honey Mellow. They make one juice called Bean Bags, which is a vanilla baguette kind of thing. It's delicious. And then they also make Solely Cannoli, which is like a chocolate covered cannoli. And apparently there's pecans in it. I didn't know that. There's pecan flavor. So, but he for whatever reason, he's like, oh, I know a lot of cannolis have pecans or have nuts in it, so just check. And I was like, the hell kind of cannoli has nuts in it? I
told him too. I said a lot of cannolis around here have nuts in it.
Dude, every cannoli I've ever had is from a hardcore Italian family, and it's literally a cannoli wrap stuffed with freaking icing. That's it. But yeah, sure shit, there was pecan in it, so he couldn't have it, and that sucked because it's super, super good stuff. It's one of my top. I'm telling you, man, ADV is like one of the best juice companies out there.
Until they sell out.
Yeah, if they ever sell out, dude, I'll be pissed, man. If that Honey Mellow ever changes, I will be beyond pissed.
Have you got a bad bottle of that yet?
No. It's funny. Even their bad bottles are bad because the flavor ratio is different, but it still tastes amazing. Like sometimes, I'm telling you, they sometimes have bottles that the graham cracker is like overwhelmingly delicious. And I can literally vape that all day, nonstop, every single day of the week.
I think I have a bottle that's pretty well mixed, to be honest. Is the banana prevalent in mine, or is the cinnamon, the
In your honey mellow?
Yeah, the graham cracker more prevalent. It's pretty well mixed. Pretty even.
I feel it's weird. You do get like that banana really harsh sometimes. Like not harsh, but like really, really dominant out of nowhere. Like you'll take a pull and it's just banana.
Hey, thank you very much, Hans. We'll see you next time, bro.
It's weird how that happens, but it seems like it's mostly like damn balanced. But I gotta see. I would love to try to find a juice that's just graham cracker flavored, because I love graham crackers, and I think that would be the perfect vape if I can find a graham cracker flavor that's just specifically graham cracker, and it tastes like what it's supposed to taste like.
Are we talking Great Value graham cracker or Spartan brand?
No, I'm talking like honey made graham crackers.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like one of my favorite snacks to this day, I used to have it growing up, and to this day, one of my favorite midnight snacks is like a brick of honey made graham crackers. Break it up into little pieces, not like tiny, but little chunks. Throw in a bowl, a little milk, a little bit of sugar, little brown sugar. Oh boy, I'll tell you. And if somebody made a vape that was graham cracker, milk, and brown sugar, I would be all over that. I'd be all over that like a fly on shit.
I'll do it for you.
Do you have the flavors?
I don't have the flavors, but I can get them. They're only $2 a piece.
Because that would be an amazing all day vape.
Yes, Chris, we are 26. He thought I was 35, but no, we're 32.
Yeah.
32.
32.
We are both 26. Yes.
But I'm like a young 26. He's like a shot out 26-year-old.
I'm like a used burlap sack 26.
He's like a Jack Nicholson 26.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shoot. Okay, shoot.
But
so, have I told you how incredibly happy I am that I have 40 millimeters of build space? I keep thinking of the things I can put in this, and I'm telling you, this next weekend, I am 110% doing a 5-course staggered fused Clapton, and I'm gonna wrap it like 12 times.
Let me see that. What? I think you put your magnet in backwards.
I don't think so. It wouldn't go in the other way.
Oh, okay.
Because it was bouncing.
It looked backwards. Okay.
No. The other side is like even weirder.
Okay.
It's like more. It's got like a round bevel. No, it wouldn't go in the other way. I was trying to, and it was like boing, boing.
I did that with one of mine before, and I'm like...
This one seems pretty good. This one seems like it's in there good, but I got to keep an eye out for that. Because that freaked me out.
Go till tomorrow. It takes It's not the fast-drying type of glue.
I'm not. I like how it bubbles up. Yep. That's how you know it's good.
Sealing up.
No, I didn't like that, though. That freaked me out. See, that's the kind of shit that I know it's not a big deal, but I'm like, damn, I should get new batteries.
Well, even if that didn't fuck up your batteries, who knows? It could have fucked up something in the mechanics of the mod. It's a bird. Bats.
I was going to say, it sounds like a bat. That's
Chris, we're going to be getting out of here, too. We've been streaming for 2 hours. I think we want to kind of keep it around that range. I think we're pretty much all settled up on what we're going to talk about, unless you got anything left to talk about.
I love this build.
We can talk about that build next week.
Okay, shoot.
Pew, 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 bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
All right, Chris, thank you very much for coming out. And viewers who are going to be watching a replay, thank you if you made it this far. We greatly appreciate it. And we will be having lots of conversation with you guys very soon.
And Chris, if you decide that you need to absolutely must go out and buy yourself a mod, and you just cannot not do it, feel free, before you buy anything, shoot Mr. Jizzle here or myself a message. You can message us here. He's got his own YouTube channel. Do you want to type our channels in the chat?
Yep.
You can reach us at either of our channels if you have any questions. I'm also on Twitter, and it's the same name as my YouTube account, except there's like an underscore at the end of it. Shoot us a message if you have any questions, dude, and be like, yo, man, is this mod worth it? this is a dumb purchase, whatever.
See a CMC?
Just so you are not buying something you don't want.
Is it clickable?
No.
Why is it not clickable?
I don't know. Oh, there might be links turned off in chat. Or it's too many letters.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, Lil Chris, you can find me in Fandus Vapes.
Yeah, it's you know, just because we don't like, and we both do it. I mean, I do it more than he does. I'm more of a spontaneous buyer. All caps. I'm sorry. I'm more of a spontaneous purchaser when I go into vape shops. Like, if I have the money, lowercase. If and it happened today. Today's a perfect example of it, where I walked into a vape shop. I had a bunch of money in my pocket, and I bought something spontaneously, and now I have to bring it back because it's a piece of shit. You don't want to buy something that you have not done research on. You know, nothing. Like, I bought this mod, and there's literally nothing on it online. It's like an unknown mod. I got number 97 out of probably 98. Nobody's ever heard of these things. They're extremely uncommon. It's cool because it's rare, but it sucks. It eats up batteries. Like, it chews apart the wraps. It functions like shit. It's horrible. So you don't want to walk in and buy something without knowing anything about it. So if there's something we might know about that we can help you out, we'd be more than glad to. We don't want to see anybody make a purchase that they're going to regret.
Yep.
Because I do it, and when I regret it, I hate regretting it.
This is exactly what we're here for. This is exactly what this channel is for. So we will see everybody later. We don't have a particular sign-off. What kind of sign-off are we doing?
Okay, shoot. Okay, go.
Bang.
Okay, shoot.
Bang.
Okay. Okay, shoot.
Bang.
Alright, guys.
Bye.
Oh, his hand. Whatever.
I know, it's backwards. You should have fixed it. It's easy to do, though.